Okay, so I'm outside. I just put in a petition. Uh, Hopefully, I have my timing correct. And today is the first day of the Feast of Trumpets, right? Or, yeah, the first day of the seventh month is when you blow the trumpets. Since I do not own a trumpet, I petitioned the Most High. Went outside, face due east, hands in the don't shoot position. Announced the Lord's Prayer and petitioned him to blow the trumpets. I expect it to work, and so we'll sit here and wait. Now there's some race cars that you may or may not hear next door to me that sound very much like trumpets, but that's just a coincidence. Okay, and I don't believe in coincidences, so therefore, that is the trumpet sound that I'm hearing. However, I specifically requested that the Most High blow the trumpets as I've heard in this area before, like the trumpets heard around the world phenomena. You know, a lot of copycats took the actual recorded sounds and made their own videos about it. But I want a authentic video of that noise, and I've heard it personally. So I was very impressed by that, and I decided today, which is nighttime for me, you can probably hear the crickets. Um, to ask the Ancient of Days in his holy reputation, and in the holy reputation of the wonderful Son, and in the holy reputation of the Holy Ghost, to blow uh, the trumpets that I've heard before in the past. Here, so I'm gonna sit here and wait for that. Enjoy my cigarette, my incense burnt in the temple. Do this. I'm burning this to the glory of the Most High. if you notice, when it's a new moon, you can't see the moon whatsoever at all. Okay, I might have to check out here later, because at nine at this time, the moon, when it's full or illuminated, it's behind a tree line in front of my house. You know, the moon travels from east to west, just as the sun does. Possibly in the same circuit. And so you can't see it this time of night. But at 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, it's directly hovering above my backyard. So I may come out about that time and check to see if I can see visually with the new moon, because tonight is an extremely clear night. There's no clouds in the sky at all, and I can see every star in the sky out here in the country. That's how country living is, that you're able to see many stars with your naked eyeball. If I were to pull out a telescope right here in these perfect conditions, and in my extremely dark front yard, it's basically pitch black. I can't even see my hand in front of my face without this phone. And set up a telescope in my front yard and look straight up or at an angle anywhere near the ceiling, the flat earth ceiling, then that would just be something fun to do. But I don't have a telescope right now. I used to. I had to walk away from all my worldly possessions at one time because I doggone offended the Most High to the point of where He warned me with imminent death, and then I realized my offense and repented. Repented. So I was forgiven, and imminent death was taken away from me. Might do a video on that called "Surviving the Bloods." So the women of the Bloods, the Most High put a spirit on the rubies of the Bloods to preserve my life. So about a day or two after that, I realized my offense, and I repented. Well, I still had to run on foot around the city for approximately 30 days maybe. I go to neighbor, leaving out. That's a truck you hear. Goofy ass nigga. Shoot guns at all times of the day and night. What are you shooting at? Are you trying to scare people in the neighborhood? Nobody gives a hot flying fuck that you're shooting guns, bro, at all. I think it might be some gold around here somewhere too, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go down there in that water. I probably don't even need a metal detector. I can just sift for gold. But I don't care anything about that. But it just might be something fun to do when I'm bored one day. But I definitely want to go down in that watery area and go mud fossil hunting here pretty soon. So I'm gonna do a video on that as well. These are just ideas. I may or may not do the actual videos for them, but these are just the ideas that are popping in my head right now as I'm waiting on the trumpets to sound. And again, if you can hear those cars in the background, that's the racetrack, and they sound exactly like trumpets as they race around the track. So that's a good sign. However, I have respectfully asked the Most High to blow his trumpets because they sound incredible. Well, I like to use the word credible. Know what I mean? This is the what prompted me to come out here, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month. So, new moon is the 1st day. First silver is the 2nd day. First silver is the 1st day of the week that you start counting your 6 days of work. And then you rest on the 7th. So tomorrow will be the 2nd day of the month. Okay, shall you have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation? So I'm gonna blow a trumpet with my mouth here, just to prove that I'm faithful. Let's see what we can do about this trumpet situation here. See if it will be a mockery. I don't want to mock at all. So let's see here. I want to look at the trumpets to see. Hold on. Kadesh. Hold on, bro. Where the trumpet? Where that? Should be shofar. Teruah is blowing of trumpet should be shofar. Okay. Well, let's look up shofar. H shofar. Let's see if let's see if I will be mocking by emulating a trumpet sound. Shofar. Let's go to the Strongs. Okay, it's a horn. But let's go to the time of shofar. Shofar for a time. Shofar in scripture. Today you also should announce the law as thoroughly as you can. Right? So it's so much easier for us where people can read the law for themselves, and we can just post the law on the superhighway for people to see. Okay, the significance of the so far. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to the Strong's exhaustive. Exhaust. Let's do that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see what the number is. 7782. Let's go to the exhaustive first and look at it clearly. Look at it carefully. That's what's wrong with smart people. They come to conclusions so fast that they miss key nuances in their methodology. That leads them to a faulty conclusion. 7782. Okay. In the original sense of incising, a cornet, which is a trumpet, as giving a clear sound or curved horn. Cornet trumpet. It doesn't say anything about utilizing your voice. 8231. Okay. To glisten. Figuratively, be causatively, make fair, goodly. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't want to use my voice as a trumpet. Well, you know, I wonder if, let's see here. In the original sense, incising a cornet or curved horn, let's see if our larynx, larynx. Let's see if that's horn shaped. Superior horn larynx. Let's check that out. See if I will be mocking by using my voice as a trumpet. Lift up your voice like a trumpet, though. Right. Superior horn larynx. See? So that's what I would do. Okay. So I've come to the conclusion that we have the trumpet in our voice. All right, so let me find out right here what needs to happen here. Seventh month. Okay. Had to clear my voice. I don't I can't sing as good as I used to when I was young. This shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger that sojourns with you. Remember that. Exactly, probably about sounds like not 9 days from now. All right, I think that's right. And the 10th day of the month. Today is the first day, so that means next week will be the 8th day. Next week and a day will be the 9th day. Next week and 2 days will be the 10th day. So today is, what's the day? Saturday night. Okay, it's the first day, starting at sundown. So then next Saturday will be the 8th day. Monday will at Monday at sundown. Okay, 8th day, 9th day, 10th day. Monday at sundown will be the 10th day. So that is your which let's see which feast that is. Let's find out which feast this is. And he that burns them shall wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. And this shall be the statute forever. On the 10th day you afflict your souls, do no work. On the 10th day of the 7th month. Today is the first day of the 7th month. Monday at sundown is the 10th day of the 7th month. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you. Okay, so there you go. You got the Feast of Atonement. That you may be clean from all your sins before the Most High. It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and you shall afflict your souls by a statute forever. It don't stop. And the priest whom he shall anoint, the priest whom he shall anoint, and whom he shall consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead. Ain't that funny? See, the Most High placed a high priest over us, his wonderful son, who is the priest in his office in his stead, shall make the atonement for us, and shall put on the linen clothes, even the holy garments. I'm laughing because I've seen this wonderful man face to face, and he's all well. When I saw him, he was in these fine white linen clothes. So that would make him the high priest and over us in his father's stead. That's funny. Okay, even the holy garments. And he shall make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make an atonement for the tabernacle of the congregation. Okay, so now we understand that we are the tabernacle of the congregation. And for the altar, which is our heart, and he shall make an atonement for the priests and for all the people of the congregation. And this shall be an everlasting statute unto you, to make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as the Lord commanded Moses. See? That's right. That's right. So that happens on Monday week. at sundown, the 10th day of the 7th month. Okay, so today is the first day of the 7th month. So I want to understand what's going on here. I'm going to use my voice as the trumpet in just a moment here. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th day, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Okay, so now this is the Feast of Trumpets that we're dealing with. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. Okay, so I have to do that. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, also on the 7th day of this month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Now see, this is a different timing. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, oh, that's the same timing. Okay, I saw something about the 7th day and I read it incorrectly in my mind. So that's right. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. There shall be a holy convocation unto you. You shall predict the souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. So that's food. Okay, so that's what the offering is, food. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Most High your power. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. So you better remember these things. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening. See? From evening to evening. See how that works? So Monday during the day is the 9th day. And then at evening, at sunset, it becomes the 10th day from sunset to sunset. Shall ye celebrate your Sabbath? So this is how many Sabbaths are explained. And this is how we know that a 24-hour period begins at sunset. Because that's how the Most High explains all of the Sabbaths to us. Except for Pentecost, the 50th day after the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is Pesach, Passover. Okay, so you got Pesach, Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, and then that's an 8-day it's an 8-day high holy day, a high holy time, a moed. You understand? That's what it is. And then during that time is the time that Hamashiach died on the first the preparation on the preparation day before Passover on the 13th. Okay. Then he rose exactly 72 hours later. Okay, rose exactly 72 hours later. And then all the apostles and other followers of Christ were shut up. Went into hiding to hide from the persecution of the Idumean Jews that caused the riot to get Pontius Pilate to agree to kill Christ. You understand? So that's what happened. And then on the eighth day, early in the morning, early, yeah, early in the morning, um, the ladies went to the tomb, and when they went to the tomb, they found Hamashiach had already left the building, and the angel told them that Hamashiach is already gone. Sorry, you came too late. So he was still there, and spoke to Mary to make sure that she understood, or make sure his wife understood that he's victorious over death. You understand? Victorious over death. And so then she was excited and told the other apostles. So that was on on the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So that was an 8-day situation where he rose on the third day, and the people were shut in until the seventh day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Don't forget, there's one day for the Passover, which makes the total length of that Moed, the High Holy Sabbath, uh, International Sabbath, 8-day event. So on the first and eighth day, you do not work. It's just it's synchronized with the natural weekly Sabbath, and then throughout that week of unleavened bread, you do not eat unleavened bread, which symbolizes do not sin for an entire week. So that's what you're supposed to do. And let me think here. What else I need to go over? So the feasts are what most important to understand Hamashiach's ministry, or actually Ancient of Days ministry that Hamashiach expressed to us properly. You understand? So now, 50 days after that, you just count 50 days. That's it. Or you count 7 weeks and you add a day, and then in the morning of that day is Pentecost. So counting weeks is slightly different from the Gregorian method of counting weeks, where they use a solar timing, which throws off your timing by some hours. So it's not a very big drastic difference, but you want to be as accurate as you can. Okay, so it could throw you off like a whole day at times. You see, because the way we count the days is from new moon to new moon, not full moon to full moon like uses U.S. says, IUIC, they concluded that the full moon is the new moon. But that is us completely asinine thoughts. Okay. So now, when you count from new moon to new moon, that's 4 weeks. Okay. So then you count another 3 weeks. That's 7 weeks. And then you add a day to it. That's it. It's very simple. That's 50 days. And then what? You got Pentecost, the Feast of Pentecost. You know, that's how it goes, bro. The Feast of Weeks is what it's actually called. You see? That's what it's actually called. Normally happens, generally speaking, uh, around May. Yeah, around May, if I got that right. Hold on, let me think here. I got May, June, May, June. So yeah, generally speaking, happens around June. Then you got the dedication to the woman that happens during before Passover on the preparation day. Preparation day. You have a yearly um, do this in remembrance of me. So you have a yearly. What's the word I'm looking for? It's called remembrance. For me, it's called let's see. It's called when you just do it. You don't need to know the technical name of it, but it's called uh let's see, wine, red, break bread, break bread. It's called I gotta get you the right word here. You feel me? Eucharist? No, that's not the right. That's not the word I'm looking for. Well, I mean that's what it's called. That's what you're partaking in is the Eucharist, but it's actually the process is called do this in remembrance of me. I do this every year, and I can't remember the actual name of it. Last Supper is called. Let me see. Last Supper. How? How, Sway? I'm on the internet right now, Sway. Okay. As Passover meal is the final meal that in the Gospels of the crucifixion, Last Supper is commemorated by Christians, especially on Monday, Thursday. That's stupid. It's just stupid. Okay, so you got the final meal, Last Supper. Okay, you have well, you know the name. All of you know the name of this process here. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So during that process, you're supposed to re- remember the woman that anointed Christ's feet and the woman who anointed Christ's head. There's got to be two different people. It just has to be. If not, I could be wrong. You can feel free to check me on that. Could be the same person, the same woman. But one passage says that uh, a lady came in and anointed his feet, and another passage says that a woman came in and anointed his head. Okay, so only priests anoint kings. This is the only thing that happens. So we're going to be a nation of kings and priests. You see? Oh, that includes the women. The women are priestesses and queens. So you got to understand how that works. So he's restoring the honor of women that was hijacked by the Idumeans, and who else did that? Who else did that? Well, everybody generally does it. A lot of people generally um, reduce the woman to uselessness. But a woman is extremely pivotal to the existence of people on Earth. So I don't understand how they do that. All right, so let me look at the 10 feasts here. So I'm just waiting on the trumpets to blast. Okay, 10 feasts. That's it. Okay. All right. Let's go here. All right. You got scoffers who hate googling, but I mean, this what the fuck do you think you're supposed to do when you got so much information at your fingertips? You're not making any sense. Feast of Passover. Okay, that's the first day of the first month and the 14th day of the first month at evening. Okay, so we like to call that sunset. All right, so that's how that works, and it goes for 8 days. First day is Passover. The next 7 days are the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and then you have the Feast of Harvest, First Fruits, Feast of Weeks. Just count 7 weeks, add a day in the morning. Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, is in the held the 15th day of the 7th month. So we got 3 back to back to back in this 7th month. The first day is the blowing of trumpets, which I should do in here momentarily. Let me look up a type of trumpet sound that I can emulate, since I found out that the horn is in our throat as the larynx. All right, so now, first day of the 7th month is the Feast of Trumpets, where you blow the trumpets, okay, to warn the people that Hamashiach, King of Kings, the angriest black man, is returning. And you want to be prepared for that. Trust me. So now on the 10th day, you got the Feast of Atonement. Atonement. 10th day of the 7th month. The Feast of Atonement. The 15th day of the 7th month is the Feast of Tabernacles. Boots, Sukkot. Try not to use these words here, right here, the names of the months, because they doggone introduce some gods into the names that you're not supposed to say. It's very important. You just call them by their number. There's nothing wrong with the numbers. The numbers don't have a similarity to any gods that they worship. More offerings were given at this feast than at any other. Okay, then you have the new moon of the 7th month was later known as the Festival of the Trumpets. Right. Okay, great. Thanks. That's what we're dealing with today. Day of Atonement is the 10th day, as we stated. 10th day. All up. I forget there's only 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, at any rate, let me go to find some others, because as I said, you have a memorial, an annual memorial for the women who anointed Hamashiach's body, his feet and his head. All right. So then you also have that's 7. Then you also have the Hanukkah, which is a 12-day festival that Christmas hijacked and emulated. Christ's mass, Christ's death ceremony was satanically replaced Hanukkah, wherein Hanukkah each tribe goes to the tabernacle in order to give gifts. And since we are all the tabernacle, then we'll just give gifts to each other in the future here. And that's how that works. So, a separate tribe on the 12 days goes and gives their gifts to the tabernacle, for people to share at their necessity. Understand? So that's Hanukkah. Then that's 8 convocations. Then you have the memorial, another memorial for Purim, my favorite. It's my favorite. Purim is my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Purim is my favorite. It's my favorite holiday. You guys, okay? I understand the CIA and all them boys care way too much about us and are just as obsessed as the obsessed people. But I mean, uh, this is gonna happen. So I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, the more you try to uh, slaughter us, right? So let's say you genocide all of us like you did the Native Americans, who are black people, right? To 97% of their population, where there was only 3% of them left, right? Let's say you do that. Okay. Uh, that's gonna make the Most High extremely angry. You know why? Because the Most High prompted your ancestors to slaughter the Native Americans to the tune of 97% on purpose, because of Manasseh's offense. Manasseh caused a genocide that slaughtered millions of the Southern Kingdom. I mean, yeah, the millions of what did they do? Well, Manasseh was the king of Judah. Yeah, so yeah, he slaughtered his own kingdom. Yeah, that's crazy. I believe. Yeah. So at any rate, I could be wrong about that. Make sure you check me on everything that I'm saying, and put the proper understanding below in the comments. So that's what happened. And what's that boy name? So that's so when the European invaders came over here to Arceris, Turtle Island, some people like to call it, uh, it's kind of in the shape of a whale too, when you look at it, with Idaho being the blowhole of the whale. And North America kind of looks like a dragon if you look at it, uh, real strange, like. Speaking of dragons, right? Let me show y'all something here. After I finish these 10-piece discussion, okay. All right, so that's 8 that I can name off the top of my head. I have to look up the rest of these here. Let's see, Passover 10, 3 pilgrimage festivals, 3, okay, Messiah 7 biblical feasts. Okay, so that's 8 I can think of right off the top of my head. Okay, so maybe it's not 10 feasts. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread 7 days. Okay, so I suppose it's just 8 high holy uh, international annual feasts. Then you have the Shemitahs and the Jubilees. So Shemitahs are 7-year cycles. 7-year cycles. So this emulates the Feast of Weeks. A week is a Shemitah, right? So it's a day for a year when it comes to the Shemitahs, and a day for the year when it comes to the Jubilees. So when you have the Jubilees emulate the Feast of Weeks. So you have 49 years, and then you add a year. So at the very beginning of the next year, which our year begins at the first new moon after March 20th. First new moon after March 20th. I forget the name of that day, the technical name for that day. March 20th is it's called we got equal part day and night, right? It doesn't always fall on the 20th, but it's commemorated by the 20th on the Gregorian calendar. So, you know, it's called the solstice is what it's called, the solstice. So the first new moon after the solstice, which generally the solstice generally lands near March 20th. There are many solstices throughout the year, but or there are a number of solstices throughout the year. And the two most famous are March 20th and December 20th. Okay, and so a solstice is just simply defined as 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. Okay, so I can show you everything that I'm saying, but I mean, who has time to do that? You should know some of these things. Okay, either of the two times in the year, the summer solstice, winter solstice, when the sun reaches its highest or lowest point in the sky at noon, marked by the longest and shortest days. Okay, so that's what you want to call it. You can define it that way. That's fine with me. Whatever. But you're actually during that time of year, during the spring time of year, you're looking for 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. Once you find that, then you find the first new moon after that, and that is the first day of the first month to us. In Noah's time, it was different. Before the flood, it was different. So after the flood, the times changed because he was on the boat for 7 months and 17 days. 7 months and 17 days uh, denoted the first day for us. So let's see how that looks in real life. Let's look at a calendar here. Calendar, right? Yearly calendar. I just want to see uh, you know what his first month was. Okay, so I know it's going to be difficult for you to keep up because I'm going back and forth through the Gregorian and reality, but I'm just doing this for my own purposes. And since you're here with me, you're going to have to bear bear with me. Okay, so now our first month is generally speaking is in March. Generally speaking, it's in March, right? So I count 7 months prior. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be August. Will be his first month of his year pre-flood. It's just interesting. 7 months and 18 days. Okay, so it's 18 days. So it goes back even further to maybe close to the beginning of August. The first new moon in August. That's how that works. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just fun considering every word and all that good stuff. So now, print globe. Okay, don't need to do that. So now let's get back to. Okay, we did all the feasts. Okay, and this is the announcement of the law as well. So I'm gonna have to present that to you. You have to announce the law, don't you? Don't you know no good? Okay, just because I'm just gonna look up the 613, but in reality, there's over 700 plus commandments because when it commands you to prophesy, when it commands a prophet to prophesy, they're expecting us to do the same. Also, uh, the memorials are commandments, and there are varying commandments throughout the text. Like, for example, the prophecies. The prophecies. The prophecies must be performed. So that's why Hamashiach said, "I have not come to destroy the law nor the prophets." The prophets announced prophecies which many have come to pass, and that's how we know that the book is true. So now, that is the mind of Christ, is the having your mind very much focused on prophecies in order to act them out, take responsibility for them. Right? So it's the Most High's agenda. It's the Most High's agenda is his prophecies, and he expects people on his team to perform them, and when there's no one available to perform them, then he gets dummies to do them. You see, and that goes both ways, whether we're in our proper persona or we are in our sinful nature. So the dummies will perform his prophecies against us if we are negligent. That's how that works. So study the 613 laws and study the prophecies. I'm gonna go ahead on back in the house since my battery is getting low. I should wait till 1%, but if if the trumpets blow per my request to the Most High, then I'll come back out here and record them for you, because it lasts a couple of minutes, so it ain't gonna take but a second to get out here, because I'm gonna run pretty fast out here. All right, so appreciate you for listening, and I'm going back in now. You guys have a blessed and wonderful new month, renewed month, time of renewal, and understand these lessons and perform the prophecies is the final message.